Hey everybody, coming up next on Sports Central, we have Warren and Katie Thornton from the national champion Weber bowling team. We also have Micheal Mink from the Lakeland Raiders with the latest and greatest from there and some Major League Baseball. Stick around everybody for this edition of Sports Central. Hey everybody, and welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson. To my right, Mr. Hank Longo, my co-host. Hank, wow, what an exciting month in the world of sports we just went through, and we've got another one coming up here in April. Oh, it's unbelievable. We have some special guests and a lot of people to thank this week. It has been, just unbelievable, the stuff that's going on. Russ Matt's wrapped up. Tigers are in Detroit now, and
spring season.
It's not stopping there.
We're getting ready for another great year, and we want to thank the folks at Harry's Old Place for being a sponsor of this first segment of Sports Central.
Absolutely. Well, if you haven't figured it out already, shame on you, because the Weber bowling team, both men's and women's, are stellar this year. The women's won the national championships. We have two celebrities with us from that team, Mr. Warren and Katie Thornton. Katie, you're no stranger to this show. Of course,
No.
Del, you aren't either, but she's a lot better looking than you are.
No argument. No argument.
Welcome, and we're just delighted to have you guys on the show. First off, congratulations. Wow, amazing. You guys just keep racking up the trophies and the accolades. Just phenomenal, Katie. How does that make you feel? I mean, just like you're a celebrity in the bowling world.
It's a great feeling every time we go to a tournament. It's always a fun experience, and then winning on top of it is always the icing on top of the cake, and it's been a really great year so far. So I'm looking forward to the one last tournament we have for the USBC championship.
And what is the USBC championship?
The ITC is the championship that has all the collegiate teams combined. So there's NCAA, there's NAIA, and then there's also like club teams for all the divisions. So it's literally the best 16 teams in the country competing for the one title.
Okay, Del, you're in charge of both men's and women's. Sort of, kind of, yeah.
Great. It's been a great year so far, and we're defending national champions in both men and women. So we made a statement this year. We had to decide, really, are we were going to say, this is really what our goal was. Of course, everybody wants to win, but to make the statement is something else. And the teams have handled it very, very well. It's been a solid season, and to go into this time of year and win that tournament, and the men finished a solid third, came very, very close to winning as well. I'm very, very optimistic about where we are right now. It's just as a culmination of where you start in August, and we are here right now, ready to go.
Has anybody won back-to-back?
There have been teams where the men or the women have won back-to-back, but no program in history has where the men and the women combined have won back-to-back, and that's why we decided, we've made some pretty good. We've had some pretty good success in the 5 years now, the fifth year of the program, and so why not make the statement? Go for it. You live once here, so
good stuff.
Now, Katie, how do you keep yourself calm when you're in these big championships and just have to kind of focus on just throwing a good ball?
Well, for me and with the other girls on the team, we like to kind of have like one word or something that will make us laugh or something like that. Just it keeps you really relaxed. And then I always take deep breaths before if there's something like a really big shot or anything like that. But I don't try to put too much emphasis on something. We really work on going through a process, and we kind of stick to that process. So it feels like it's the same shot over and over again, even if one means more than the other or one is for the national championship or not.
So what are things? I've bowled, through my lifetime, and I have fun doing it. Never competed or anything, or been on the league, but enjoy it. For the people watching that aren't competitive bowlers, what are some of the basic things you have to think of when you get ready to roll the ball?
Some of the basic things are just getting, for us, it's posting a shot, sticking our finish at the foul line. That's really important for us because.
When you say stick a finish, what does that mean?
Like when you get to the foul line and you like follow through with your approach and sticking the finish, so that way you can see your ball motion. One of the important things for us is communicating with each other to make moves when the lanes are starting to change. And posting the shot will allow you to see the ball motion much better, which allows us to move a lot quicker than other teams would in that case.
Huh. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Bill, difference between coaching girls and boys. First of all, who's tougher and who's more coachable, or is there a difference?
Well, there's a difference. It's just a strategy. I mean, it's I don't really look at it as girls and boys as much as who they get to knowing the individual. So everybody processes information differently. There are different times where sometimes you have to be dad, sometimes you have to be mom, sometimes you have to be very stern, and sometimes you just you've got to be that fun-loving person, and you've got to take a stressful situation. You kind of make a joke out of it, and sometimes the coaches, we do our very, very best to really treat each athlete, whether they're male or female, graduate student or freshman, very individual within the team concept. So that's the toughest part of coaching, is really knowing how to speak to an athlete in a very tough situation and be able to trigger something in them so that they can perform at their best.
Now, Katie, how many of the national teams have you been on? The women have won 3 national championships. Have you been on all 3?
I've been on all 3, yes.
Oh, my God.
So you're going to be a senior, or you are a senior?
This is my last year of eligibility, and I am a graduate student.
And?
So my last tournament is the ITC, so that'll be my last chance to win a national championship.
What's ITC stand for?
The Intercollegiate Team Championships.
When is it, and where is it?
It is in Nebraska, and it is the 17th through 20th of April.
Oh wow! So you're coming up.
It's coming up.
We are here.
It's here.
So you're prepping now. Are you still working with Kegel quite a bit?
Yes, all the time. We practice there every single day at the training center, and we have a locker room there as well. So our team practices are always there, and we can come in any morning if we want to, and come and do an individual practice as well. We have our pro shop there where we drill all of our equipment. So all of our bowling for practice is done in that facility.
Huh. Now, where did you grow up?
I am from Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay, and how did you get into bowling?
My grandma actually took me to a all-you-can-bowl on Tuesdays for 3 hours, and it was like $5, and I was always bored during the summer, so she tried to get me to do something, and I kind of just fell in love with it, and then I joined a league in the fall, and I never looked back, kind of thing.
Wow.
You know, it's the most popular sport in the United States.
70 million.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Take a look at the Sporting Good Manufacturers Report, and you go, holy smokes. And I'll be teaching a class or something. I go, what's the most popular sport in the United States? Soccer, football, whatever. No, bowling. No. Yeah. Really. So it's really, really good stuff. So the ITC's coming up. Obviously, you're prepping for that. It sort of coincides with finals week, though, doesn't it? Isn't that about the same time?
The finals are the week after.
Oh, so you really get well prepared for finals. Maybe get a little leniency from some of the crossers.
It's definitely a busy 2 weeks, that's for sure.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, going into the season, you had to have some personal goals. Dell, as looking at it from a coach's standpoint, you're a little bit different. Okay, I have 2 national championships under my belt. Can I repeat? Can we repeat? How did you prepare for, a 3rd potential national championship if you go all the way back to the start of the season?
The one thing I thought about through most of the year was I didn't want to look back and think I could have done something more if the outcome wasn't what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So I kind of have been throughout the whole year doing what I can and giving what I know that would be my best. Mm-hmm. And if the situation and we had the opportunity to win again, that would be great, but I at least know that I gave everything I could, and I prepared myself 100% for a chance to have that. And if it happens, it happens, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least I know I can look back and say, I couldn't have done anything else for the situation to be different. So that's kind of how I looked at it.
What is it that you prepare? You know, when you say you're preparing for this, there's got to be specific things that are on your checklist that you want to make sure you're getting done?
Just far as practicing and academics and working out and being there for my teammates and being a role model or like a leadership role for them. And if like I could have gone and done something, but instead I would do something for my teammates if they needed help for homework or anything like that, or they wanted to go practice and they needed a ride. I would put away my time to go do that for them, so that way they were able to be the best that they could be, so that way we would be a unit at the end, and that would be my goal.
Now, you were the NAIA Women's Player of the Year.
Yes.
Is Grandma kind of happy about that?
Oh, my grandma was really happy, that's for sure.
That's fantastic.
Yes. She called me. I actually texted my dad first. I sent him a picture, and then she called me, and she was so excited.
That's wonderful.
That was for sure. And my dad and my mom as well, they were all super excited, and they kept asking me a million questions, and then I was like, well, we haven't even bowled the tournament yet. I want to win that one too. So it was really exciting though.
Del, your men's MVP, John Trzynski.
Yep, you got it.
Hey, I'm from Wisconsin. There's a lot of Polish people up there, so I've learned to pronounce that, at least what I think is correctly, over the years. But how excited was he? I mean, that
John's very much like Katie. John's a graduate student. This is his last year. It's his last tournament coming up, and he's been getting better all year. He's been probably our most solid player, but it's just been in the last 2 months as he's prepared for the end of his career and to try to win another national championship. He's really worked hard on his game, and everything has kind of come together, and he bowled fabulous. What I like about these awards, they're voted on by their peers, by the other coaches. So it's just recognition by your competitors that your program, your teams, and your individuals are being recognized by your competitors, which that's really pretty cool. So we were thrilled. He's worked incredibly hard, and so both these individuals have made sure that this year that when they throw their final ball, that there are no regrets. They've given it their best.
Well, it isn't just Katie and John. You had 2 All-Americans, or 3 All-Americans, and 2 second runner-up All-Americans. I mean, that's like a all-star team.
Well, yeah, and again, it's a testament to the Kegel Training Center, the program. Coach Randy Stoughton, who works along by my side, Rick Wilsey, who's another coach. We're just so dedicated to these kids, and it breeds a culture of being your best and doing your best in the classroom and on the lanes. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but it really is. There's so much energy in the training center when you watch them practice and as they prepare for a tournament. It's just a lot of fun, and I just get excited every time I think about it and the things that the team in general has accomplished.
Well, that's some great stuff. We appreciate you guys coming out. I know you're busy getting prepared for the upcoming and the final championships of at least your college career. Hopefully you move on to the pros. We'll have to keep an eye on her career over the years, Del, and you'll keep us updated.
See that $250,000 check hanging from the TV.
Hank will be there helping her hold it up, I'm sure. So once again, congratulations to you and the entire team. And also to Bill Heath, who, great athletic director and doing well.
Well, Weber's just been fantastic. It's been a great partnership, and Bill's a huge supporter of our program, and we just had him over. We just had a ring ceremony and he just, you could just see he's just beaming, this wouldn't be possible, obviously, without Weber, and the Kegel partnership has been fantastic.
Well, once again, congratulations, Katie and Del, the 2013 National Collegiate Bowling Champions. Well, everybody, right here in Polk County, it doesn't get much better than that. However, speaking of superstars, The Detroit Tigers have had an unbelievable spring training season. We had some great fun out at the games, but now they're back in Detroit. You need to check this out because the Tigers are wrapping it up here in Lakeland, and we're so sad to see them go, but looking forward to another World Series run. Check it out, everybody.
We're doing pretty well so far. Stayed away from the major injuries, which is always a big key here in spring training, and guys are getting their work in. We're just kind of anxious to get going, even though the warm weather here in Florida, and we know we got Minnesota ahead of us, but I think everybody's right on track.
It's been a good spring. Everybody's getting their work in. The pitchers are looking good. We're all looking forward to starting the season. I think it's getting to that point in spring training because we've been here a long time.
I've been coming since I was a player in the 70s, so I see the changes and the upgrades. It's really nice, but the Lakeland and the Tigers, what a great marriage it's been for both towns.
Everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo. And wow, what footage from the Tigers.
Spring training with the Tigers.
Oh, best 1-2 punch in baseball.
And
Prince Fielder, or I should say Cabrera, Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder. Then you have the best pitcher in baseball in
Verlander.
Justin Verlander. I mean, great article about him in, I can't even remember what it was, Forbes or something like that. That it was real interesting insight into his life, his personality.
Yeah.
You know,
he's
so
going to be making
anyway, it was
a couple
great.
$100 million with this new contract. not bad wages to take home. Hey, we want to thank the folks at Abuelos for being the sponsor of our second segment of Sports Central.
Absolutely. Well, we have a very smiling special guest coming up next, Mr. Micheal Mink with the Lakeland Raiders indoor football team, professional football team. The reason he's smiling, last week they beat their nemesis, the Florida Tarpons. You got to be just thrilled to death.
Yeah, it was good to get it off the back. You know,
Yeah,
it was exciting getting a stinky fish out of here. You know,
yeah, no kidding. 56 to 40. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
You had a great game.
Yeah, we decided, I had to talk with the team on Tuesday night. We didn't practice.
Yeah.
I brought them all in for a film session and pretty much scolded them for about 2 hours. I said, if you're not bleeding, Raider black and blue, then you don't need to be here. We got to be physical, on Saturday night. We got to bring the game to them. We can't back down. We can't be intimidated. So we came out with a different, came out with some swag, and the guys were physical, and we pushed them around all game.
Well, the one before that, I think it was 41-36.
Yeah.
So they kind of, got the upper hand, but not by much. But then you came back, just spanked them. That was just unbelievable.
And we shot ourselves in the foot down there in Fort Myers. We had 12 penalties called, two touchdowns called back, on some kind of ghost holding calls.
Yeah.
And on the road it's tough, and then we had 2 interceptions. So, it was to be only lose by 5. That's where we were pretty. We knew if we played our game on Saturday night and didn't make the mistakes that we made the previous Sunday, we'd be okay.
What other? I mean, this is a pretty quick offense if you're racking up this many points. For the folks that haven't been to a game yet, kind of fill them in on that part of the excitement, just the speed of it. You're up close and personal, all the fans, and
oh yeah, 50 by 28 box. You're half the field on both ways. The outdoor football field. It's quick, but you got 8 guys. You got 2 guys in motion, so those receivers get a jump on the DBs. So either you got to have good DBs or you're going to give up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So you got to get to the quarterback. And Saturday night with Wallace, he's a veteran. We were able to get to him, and that makes a difference because he throws off his back foot. You put pressure in his face, and our D-line and linebackers did a great job, Saturday night.
Well, that's kind of, no matter, in this league, and if you go into the NFL and you look at Brady and Manning and any
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, got to get the Packers in there. But you take any one of those great quarterbacks that just is picking you apart one game after another, and then you get the team where the guys are getting in the quarterback's face and they're making them run out of the pocket and they're getting them unbalanced.
Yeah.
Then it's a whole different game. Then they're not throwing the same way, and that's how they shut down that kind of an offense, is if your line and your backs can get in there and disrupt the quarterback and take him out of his rhythm.
Almost definitely. We have a good quarterback in B.J. Hall, and I thought our offensive line did well. We played various fullbacks this game. We tried to go bigger at fullback. Then we have Tyler. We didn't play Tyler. He's a smaller tailback. We went with a D-end at fullback, and Adrian Smith, a local product, and went to FAMU. He's 230, 6'2", 230, runs a 4.4. We put him at tailback for the first time. He had 2 touchdowns, so he did a great job for his first time back there.
Well, BJ was the Offensive Player of the Week, wasn't he?
Yeah, BJ Hall's been a blessing to have. He's a very experienced quarterback.
Quick.
Yeah, he was Player of the Week this week in UIFL, and it was, he's done a great job for us, both on the field and off the field.
Looking to April 12th, next game against Corpus Christi. You ever seen this team before?
Well, I've seen some of their players before. They have a really good quarterback in Robert Kent. He's been around for a while. He's a veteran. He's about 6'5". So he's another guy. They're unbeaten right now. We're going. They have to play Georgia on Monday night, so they got a short week preparing for us. They've got to, go to Georgia, and they won't be home till probably Tuesday and Wednesday, and they got to play us on Friday. So we're flying up there Friday, and we're looking to get a win and take over control of the league and control of the division.
Well, you're 3-1 now. You're in a better position, arguably, than anybody else. But it's you're heading right down that path again.
Yeah, we've got to, like I said, we come with a big win against Texas, puts us 4-1. We control our own destiny. We're home the whole month of April and May. That's our last road game.
Yeah.
So we can, fortify the castle at the Lakeland Center and be the team to beat.
Yeah. How have the fans been this year? How the attendance and all of that? I know they're rocking and rolling. But.
Yeah, we have our season ticket base is doubled, but we need to get more walk-up crowd, though.
Yeah.
We're not getting the walk-up crowd that we'd like, but we've had a lot of things going on in our games. We've had the first game we had the Strawberry Festival, and the last game we had was spring break.
Yeah.
So hopefully that we're going to get a break with some of these dates, that we have in April and May and get, even a bigger crowd. I think us winning, they love winning football up here in Lakeland. They're accustomed to it.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that that we can get some large crowds for those April May games.
Where do you recruit your players from?
Oh, they come from all over. We hold probably 4 tryout camps a year. Agents call us. Fede Azevefa, my director of player personnel, he does a great job looking at all the colleges. You know, we went down to Miami, looked at their team this year, University of Miami, South Florida, Florida State, Florida, you know, everything. You know, we go after all the colleges that we can.
Now, do these players, do they have the opportunity to go from your league into the NFL?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because we have, last year we sent 3 players to NFL camps. We had Chargers, Jaguars, and also we had the Dolphins. And then this weekend at the Super Regional in Dallas Stadium, Roderick, our wide receiver, Rod Jefferson, he is going to he got invited to the Super Regional in Dallas Stadium. So he's going up there, and the records indicate, you know, 1 out of 4 chance of signing a pro NFL contract. So Rod's right there in the middle of it, you know, so.
How exciting
yeah,
for
so
him,
he's excited. And we had a bye week too, so it's even more exciting, you know, so, you know, he's looking forward to playing in Texas. He's in Dallas, you know, already today. He flew into Dallas, you know, but we're pulling for him to, you know, to get a contract at this Super Regional.
And what is the Super Regional?
Well, what happens is the NFL has combines all across the country, free agent combines. They have probably about 14 of them. And then out of those combines, they take the best players and they give them an invite to the Super Regional. Wow. And that's in Dallas Stadium on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Wow. So he got the invite.
It's like the college draft, but it's for free agents. And to get that to that Super Regional, like I said, 1 out of 4 players sign an NFL contract, and even another 15% get invited to free agent camp, you know, with the team. So he's right in the mix. He's right where he needs to be, you know, a chance to get an NFL contract. And, you know, like I said, we've moved more players, you know, up to, you know, as far as getting looks with the NFL than, you know, the Predators or Storm did, you know. So a lot of guys have come here because of that.
Well, it's interesting, too, because, you know, there's a lot of top-notch players in the NFL, you know, undrafted free. Clay Matthews, best linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, you know, undrafted free agent. Packers picked him up, boom. You know, all of a sudden the guy just steps up.
Yeah,
Whoa.
they give them the opportunity, and they're off to the races.
So that's a good thing. You know, it's kind of a second chance, if you will, you know, to get things done. But, you know, I was looking at some of these stats, and the PF, the points for, you got 240 points this year.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal.
Yeah, we got some good offensive players. You know, I know I'm the coordinator, but I won't take the credit. We got a better offensive line this year. We have a whole brand new offense. Our offense we revamped it from A to Z. Coach Micheal Spahn, he does a great job with me. Receivers coach and backs coach. You know, we're doing very well offensively, and we got to continue. Like B.J. Hall is the captain on offense, and he's doing a great job finding an assortment of receivers that we have and talent we have at wide receiver position.
Now, how big are your linemen, your offensive linemen?
They're good size. We have Chris Rutledge. He was a 3-year starter at University of Miami. He's about 6'4", 320 pounds. And we have Thed Watson was a 2-year starter at University of South Florida. He's about 6'4", about 320. And our center, Kevin McCaskill, he was a starter, 2-year starter at South Florida. He's about 6'1", 340. So they're pretty good sized kids.
Yeah.
They're hard to feed, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All you can eat's all the time.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, on the defense too, you know, you're not allowing a whole lot of points. I think there's 106 or something like that so far this season. I mean, that's pretty incredible too. I mean, did you beef up the speed of the backs, or what's made the difference?
We have 2 outstanding linebackers. Troy Johnson, who's a product from here, and also went to Iowa. And Sam Smith, that was in the NFL. He's made a big difference, and his speed is just unreal. And Kendrick Stewart on the D line, K2. You know, he's from Florida State and another Lakeland product. He's done, you know, captain of the defense. He's always on that edge coming across. We got Munir, the depth center. He's a beast at center. You know, it was all UIFL last year. And then we just got Bradwell in from Florida State in Troy University. He's a 6'5", 6'4" D end, you know, to give us some length. And he made a big play on 4th down. He blocked the pass that that could have gave him a first down and give him momentum to take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Oof. That's some good stuff. So you really upgraded on the talent side of things. You know, looking at some of the teams coming up, you know, sort of familiar, but the Missouri Monsters, they're new to the league this year, aren't they?
Yeah, they're new to the league. They're right out of St. Louis, St. Charles, and so they'll be interesting. So with Corpus, Corpus is new to the league too.
New as well.
Yeah.
So does it present any more problems than, you know, teams that are a little more familiar with, like the Tarpons or?
Well, as long as we get film on them and we break it down just like in, you know,
just
NFL
any other
programs,
game,
any other game, you sit there and break it down, try to find tendencies, you know.
Yeah.
But our players have done a good job, and especially this last game against the Tarpons, you know, I got to credit the team. You know, it was a team win, and everybody put in, you know. And the way I feel about it is you lose as a team, you win as a team, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's some great stuff. Michael, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I mean, we're excited about it. You know, we got a couple of games you and I got to get out to, and you know, do a little segment before the game or something. That'd be fun. And
yeah, it's always fun.
Maybe grab a couple of the players. We'll do it before you. We don't want to mess up.
Well, we lost our DB though. Our DB, he was special. He was DB of the week, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah.
Right after the game, the Cleveland Gladiators signed him. So.
Oh, really?
He got signed right after the game, and he was on a plane Sunday to Cleveland.
Now, who are the Cleveland Gladiators?
Oh, the AFL, yeah.
Okay.
One of the Storm competitors, yeah. But we had picked him up from the Sharks, and then he had played with me back in Carolina Speed when I was coach at Speed. And he had a great game for one game in and out, though. But we're going to miss him. Great team guy.
Yeah. Once again, Michael, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We're going to see you in a couple of weeks here, 12th. And it's going to be a tough game, but I think you guys are going to
getting those W's.
Yep.
Yeah, we look forward to it. Thanks for having us on the show.
It's always great to chat with you.
All right, thanks.
Well, not only are the Raiders hot, but spring training was hot in Polk County. Russ Mat Baseball, Collegiate Classic, pumping millions into Polk's economy. Unbelievable action. More than 900 games, everybody. And we have some great footage. Check this out. Hank and Mark will be back right after this.
Back here after a 4-year layoff, and the improvements are tremendous. This place is great. The complex is great. Dave Bernard does a great job scheduling everybody. So we're really pleased with the results here coming here this week. We're in Tennessee right now. Memphis is where our hometown is, and we've already played 15 or 12, 13 games before we come down here. But it's just a great chance to come down and play in great weather, on a great venue, a bunch of great teams from all over the country. So it's a positive thing for us, big time. You know, for us, there is a little bit of a pressure just because we're always trying to get our way into the national tournament, so every game does count. But the difference is when we come down here, and the reason why I do it with our team, it gives us a great chance to get together for a week, 10 days, and be together, just the baseball team, outside of the college. And it really brings our kids together as a group. In general, so it helps us get through the rest of the season. It's probably, especially at the Division III level, the kids coming together as a team is probably the biggest thing you have, and these road trips and come down to Florida for spring break is something that our kids treasure, so it's been pretty awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful down here. The weather's great every day. I mean, you got the sunshine and the humidity. It hasn't been too bad down here. Only had one day of rain, which we made that game up later in the evening under the nights and under the Florida sky. You can't be angry about it. we're from southwestern Pennsylvania, where it's pretty much cold right now. In fact, my mom called me last night. It snowed, so we're looking at 2-3 inches of snow when we get back. So this is, for some teams, it's a big down here to get some games in, increase their rankings. For us, this is pretty much a glorified practice. I mean, it's not that we're not taking the game serious, but this is, for a lot of us, first time on the field. It's a good way to get in some innings. I know last year we threw a lot of innings as a team. We didn't have a lot of pitching staff. So it really lets you see where we're at. Lets me see where I'm at on the year, what I need to work on, what I need to improve on, because once we get home, it's right in the conference play. Things get double serious. You got great weather, a lot of scenery outside, a lot of places to eat, a lot of different cultures to eat out of. You know, I've been here. This is my 3rd time now for baseball. This will be, I think, the 5th time overall I've been down here for Florida. So at the same time, you're down here enjoying yourself, but baseball's priority here. So what Coach tries to do is he takes teams, splits us up into groups of 8 and 7 in the houses. So you have a lot of new guys that usually don't interact with each other. You become better as a team, a lot closer, and it makes us better overall.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, Hank Longo to my right. And Hank, we have another very special organization to thank for their ongoing
Holiday Inn Lakeland North. Thank you so much for being one of our sponsors of our 3rd segment at Sports Central.
Hey, I made an error the last segment. I'm a big Packer fan that I am. Packers actually drafted Clay Matthews 26th.
You know,
but there was somebody else that
I was going to tell you that, but I didn't want to interrupt you when you were making that statement.
Alrighty then, moving right along.
Well, somebody got on the team that wasn't drafted.
Big industry. Worldwide, in the United States, it's growing by leaps and bounds, and in Florida, a little more established than a lot of people think. The sport of soccer, it is huge, and it is growing at lightning speed, and we just happen to have the president of the Florida State Soccer Association with us, based right here in Polk County, and Arthur Mattson. Man, it's great to see you, as always. Sports guru, but you're here to talk about soccer today, particularly adult soccer. Separate and distinct from the Florida Youth Soccer Association, the State Soccer Association deals with adults.
Right. What we have is you have the Florida Youth Soccer Association, you have the Florida State Soccer. The Florida Youth pretty much accommodates 18 years and younger. And we take all the players once they reach the age of 18, some 19-year-olds and beyond. Both organizations are under U.S. Soccer. We are the 2 groups in the state of Florida that are a member of the United States Soccer Federation.
Okay. That's it's just a huge organization. Of course, you've seen a lot of growth, and particularly, what's interesting, the soccer is such a big part of Hispanic culture. And as Florida's population of Hispanics grows, I would imagine that on the adult side of things, you're seeing a big increase in numbers because of that. It's an interesting development here recently.
Yeah, and one of the areas of our state that is experiencing the greatest amount of growth right now is South Florida, and that is large in part of the Hispanic community down there. And I just actually read in the paper this morning that VSI, the professional group, is they're going to be playing their games in Plant City, and Plant City has a huge Hispanic group of soccer players, adult and youth. So I think that had a lot to do with why they chose that area.
Yeah. How are you seeing these young players aspire? Like when you get to be 18, 19 years old, is that really when they're kind of getting to be in their peak or starting to get into their peak at that age? Or?
It's tough to say. I mean, from a physical standpoint, obviously, the age of 19 to 25, a player generally will peak out physically. But we certainly see players develop, even professionally past that age. So it's not too late for you guys. We can do this. In fact, I think the last time I was on here, you guys promised me you were going to come out and play, and haven't seen us out there yet.
Well, I got a question for you, because I'll have this discussion, and it seems like on a regular basis. But one conversation was with Adrian Jones, the general manager at Legoland. He wanted to play, get into a league and so on and so forth. Well, there's an enormous amount of Brits in this area. They own vacation rental homes, or they've moved here and that type of stuff. Is that a pretty good component of the adult soccer population for Florida?
It's a part of it, for sure. Are you talking about the Britons and the Irish and the whole gamut coming in?
Of course, it's huge over there.
Yeah.
It's their number one sport.
Right.
The most popular sport in England.
Well, in our adult league, we have about every culture represented, without a doubt, and it's which is one of the reasons why I love the sport so much, is because it's so diverse.
Mm-hmm. Arthur, one of the things that actually just took place was the 2013 Florida Classic, the 4th annual, took place back in January. What was really interesting to us and to me was the fact you had 3 international teams, one of those from Trinidad. That has to be one heck of a story there.
Well, our Florida Classic tournament has been growing by leaps and bounds ever since we started it 4 years ago. And the word has not only spread throughout the state of Florida, but I think we had probably 18 different states represented at that tournament.
How many teams were involved?
We had probably between 60 and 70 teams. Wow. Okay. And the fact that, from an economic standpoint, for this area, having all of that out of town, out of state, and out of country money come into this area is really one of the reasons why I've pushed this tournament as hard as I have and has marketed it as hard. But the team from Trinidad, really neat, because it was an over 50 team that came from Trinidad, and it took a lot of work and a lot of effort to get a lot of these players cleared. The international teams have to have international clearance through U.S. Soccer, so we have a staff that takes care of accommodating those needs. But it's a lot of work to bring an international team, especially when they have never traveled before, because there's a lot of things to take care of.
Yeah.
But one interesting thing about the Trinidad team was that after spending some time with them, I came to find out that not only had a majority of the team never been to the United States before, but probably over half of the team had never been out of Trinidad before. So to be able to spend some time with them, to experience, not just our culture, but just the shock of being off the island. One of the first things I wanted to do was when they got into town, and they flew into Tampa and then drove over here to Lakeland, and they stayed in Lakeland. I wanted to, give them a little taste of, some of the America culture that I like, and so I took them to Winter Sports Bar, and got them some chicken wings and some beer, and this was after we had a little pickup game, and to look at the looks on their faces when they were just experiencing the food that they had never had before, and just the environment,
right here in Polk County.
Right here in Polk County, and everybody was so friendly to them. Long story short, they're coming back next year, and they're going to be 4 more teams with them. So it was a huge success.
Wow, that is something else.
And how did they play? How was their soccer?
They actually did make it to the finals. Wow. They came in second place in the over 50 division, and they beat some really good teams. They brought a good team. these guys have been playing soccer. There's nothing else to do in Trinidad than to play soccer, and that's all these guys had done their whole lives. So you've got 50-plus-year-old guys that very experienced in the game, and their coach for their over 50 team is also their coach for their men's national team. Ooh. So mean, they were well coached, and they were pretty well financed too. It cost them close to $50,000 to bring the team over, and most of that was financed from the country of Trinidad.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yes,
that is awesome.
In talking with them, what were some of their professions?
A wide range. I would say probably half of them. And I didn't have an opportunity to talk to every one of them, but a lot of professionals. A lot of professionals, white collar, blue collar, across the board, but all shared a real passion for the game, and they're representing their country. They brought all of the board of directors on my board one of their national jerseys. Their coach did, and there were a lot of gifts exchanged back and forth from their team, to the soccer association and so on and so forth. But it was a great experience for them, and it really was for us. And we this is why we do that.
Well, a month from this weekend, you have the State Cup, 2013 State Cup. I think it starts, is it May 4th?
Yes, I believe
somewhere
so.
in there, yeah. And, of course, that's a Kentucky Derby weekend. Imagine that. Anyway, so you've got a big tournament coming up. How many teams are you anticipating for the State Cup? Because I know it's a prestigious deal. I mean, this is a big deal for the state of Florida.
Yes, it is. The May 4th weekend is actually going to be our semifinals and finals.
Okay.
They've been playing knockout rounds for the last month. There's home and aways for some of the earlier rounds, and they're actually in the process of working through that right now. But I think we have close to 80 teams that are involved with this, and they're all members of the Florida State Soccer Association, so they're all right here. And I'd say probably half of them are Central Florida teams. And some of the divisions, like our open division, which would be a lot of the 19 to 25-year-olds, the winner of that division ends up going on to the regional tournament and the national tournament. And when they go to the national tournament, if they rank high enough, then they will compete against MLS teams and other professional teams. So for those handful of players that haven't been selected or recognized or kind of picked out, there's a really good chance for them to show their talents in front of a national group.
Now, this is the FSA State Cup. This is like the state championships.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the big daddy.
This is it. Yeah.
This is it.
For the state of Florida. If you want to represent the state of Florida, you have to win this tournament.
How many divisions do you have? You think, well, from 19 and up, you go from 19 to 70 up Hank's age.
we've got 3 open divisions, and the top open division is the Alarcon Cup. And
I wondered what that was.
Yeah, okay. I'll have them call you. The winner of the Alarcon Cup actually gets to get their team name engraved on a sterling silver trophy, which stands about this high. And it's a really prestigious division to win. And then once you win that, then you will go on and represent the state of Florida. And the state of Florida typically does very well at the regional and national tournaments. We have a lot of national championship teams that have come from the state of Florida. But we've got divisions. We got 3 open divisions. We got a women's. We have a co-ed. We have over 30, over 40, over 50, and a new over 60 division.
Well, there you go.
Which is very popular. There you go. There you go.
Well, the finals are. Finally found it, but the finals are May 5th, and the semifinals are May 4th, and it's at Lake Myrtle.
Right.
And it's amazing. Hank and I and other people, you of course, travel the state and talk to people, and all of a sudden a discussion about soccer will come up. My kids are playing soccer. I'm in a league up here in Jacksonville or Gainesville or whatever, and you ask them, well, have you ever been to Lake Myrtle down in Polk County in Auburndale? Oh, that's one of the best facilities in the country. You get that unsolicited feedback about what, the shape. It's really a testament to Mickey Etherton and Bobby Green and the shape they keep that facility in. What's been your experience?
Well, I can tell you some of the feedback that we've gotten, especially from the Florida Classic tournament. Most of the Florida teams, they know where Lake Myrtle is and they know where Auburndale is, and they certainly recognize it as being the premier site for soccer tournaments, without a doubt. Now it's getting recognition not only nationwide but worldwide. When we have these international teams come in, the first thing they say is, "There's nothing like this in our country." And then we have teams from all over the United States that come in, and they say there's nothing like this in our state.
Wow.
So I got to tell you that not just being from the state of Florida, but being from Polk County, I am incredibly proud of the Lake Myrtle complex and how it turned out. And every time we have a tournament there, it's a real pleasure to put them on those quality fields and quality park, because I know that they're going to leave thinking that this is the best that they've been on.
Well, I know you're wrapping up, and we've got to wrap up here too, but you're wrapping up the second year of a 2-year presidency so far. Are you going to continue in your role? We certainly hope so.
Yeah,
I'm kind of putting you on the spot, but I do it all the time.
I've already declared that I'll certainly run for another term.
Yeah, that's great news.
So, and I think so far everything's going great with the organization. I've got great support, and I want to keep us on the track that we're on right now. And one of my main goals is to bring as many tournaments, big quality tournaments, to Lake Myrtle and Polk County as possible, because I know that is, that really has an economic impact.
That pumps, like you said, all it does is just pump millions of dollars into Polk County, makes us all wealthy.
And I see it happen too. When we pack up Winter Circle and with 50 people, and they get a call the next day, hey, thanks for bringing them over. Yeah. It's just little stuff that helps.
I hear it all the time. It's just like, oh, you had all these, it's just phenomenal. Thanks so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate FSSA, and we'll look forward to the State Cup coming up, starting May 4th and 5th. So good to see you. Well, everybody, another celebrity viewing.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Barkley, Bean, Longo, and friends coming up next. We've got some great footage and some great golf from superstar celebrities. Check this out. We'll be back, everybody.
Well, we're out at the first tee for the Barkley, Bean, Bryant, and Friends, the 8th year of this event to raise money for kids at the first tee. And I'm with the legend, the superstar, the professional golfer that's just made Lakeland on the map, Mr. Andy Bean. And Andy, what a treat to be again with you this year.
Well, I don't know about putting Lakeland on the map. I think it's just a wonderful place to be and live. But we're so fortunate the community has gotten behind the first tee. Charles has been here every year supporting it. It's something that he believes in, and the youth is what we're all about. It's supporting our youth, giving them some guidance, and seeing where they go from there.
Well, Andy, he's been treated so well. Charles has been by the folks in Lakeland, and he said that's why he comes back, and the friendship that you and Brad have established with him, and to see how he takes time out of his busy schedule to come down here and to help us out.
He's just like my younger brother. Anytime, you say, Charles, we need you to do this, and he comes down and gives of his time, and but I think it says a lot about the guy.
Brad, what a great event. You're here, Andy's here, and of course our special guest, Mr. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, we're having a great time. Obviously, we just made 2 birdies on the first hole, so that was pretty good. Charles didn't hit anyone, so we're doing real good so far.
So far, so good.
And oh gosh, what a great thing. This little place here, our first tee, does so much to help Polk County, and it's just great. We have great coaches and great volunteers, and of course, having Charles come in makes the day really special. So we're all real happy to be here today.
Well, I'm with Shelby Hart, and Shelby, you're getting to play with Andy Bean. How's that for an afternoon of golf?
Oh, it's fantastic. I love him. I played with him before, and he's a great guy.
I just saw that they were putting your shot onto the green, so you had a dandy coming into the second hole.
Sir? Yes, sir.
That's got to make you feel good when you got all the pros having to hit your shot, huh?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And what can you say about the first tee and this experience for you?
Oh, this is a great facility. Come on out and practice with us. I'm here after school every day, and I'm here till 7, 8 o'clock teaching classes, and they treat you great here.
How'd you get involved with the first tee?
My cousin came one day, and he told me that there was one opening up in my area, and I signed up for it, and I came out here the first day, and I just fell in love with the first tee and the golf course, and I've been out here ever since.
Well, you're playing a heck of a game of golf. Very impressive. And you keep up the good work so that you can be on the Pro Tour one day and represent Lakeland.
I will do it. Thank you all for having me.
Okay, TJ, great playing. Thank you. Bart joining us and Brad for the first time, and what a treat for you to be here on this tour.
Yeah, it really is. You know, I've been hurt for a few years. I just haven't had the opportunity to get over here. I've been wanting to, and so it's finally nice to be over here and be a part of this.
Well, it's such a great event for the kids, and I know they love hanging out with you because it gives them an opportunity to watch one of the top pros in the world play and swing, and just where do you get that?
Well, I appreciate that, and it's really cool having all the kids out. But honestly, I think they're here to see Charles. but it sure is fun to be here, and all the kids are great. And you know, probably the true heroes of this are the sponsors of the event. You know, they raise quite a bit of money. It's really neat. And of course, Brad and Andy do a great job. And you know, having Charles here is just kind of the icing on the cake.
I'm with Alex Tyler. He's 5 years old. Boy, you've got quite a drive and a shot and a great putter, and you're showing everybody how to do it today. I'm impressed. And you're playing with Charles Barkley. How's that?
Good.
Is it fun getting to hang out with him for the day?
Yes.
How do you think your golf's going so far?
Good.
You've been making some nice putts, and that first shot off the tee, the first tee, you were the best shot out of everybody. At the first tee with Charles Barkley, my buddy Chuck. 8 years I've had the pleasure of getting to chat with you and get to know you over the years. And the most fun of this interview for me is because we get to talk about how much you love these kids. And you had the game last night. You got here today for this just to show how much this event means to you.
Well, I started coming here 8 years ago, and the people were fantastic. You know, obviously Publix has been fantastic, and the people of Lakeland have been fantastic. But that's the reason I keep coming. When I originally started here, I was only going to come 1 year. But the people are fantastic, especially the golfers we're playing with. But, you know, Brad, Andy, and Zig.
Well, it sure is great what you do for all these kids. And I get to talk to them while we're walking around, and they're delighted to be here with you. And it's just a great role model that they get to see in what you do for this community.
Well, I like these kids because they get to go home. They're not mine. So that's the best thing about it. I always tell people, other people's kids are great, but you can send them home when you're done with them.
Thanks for joining us for Barkley Bean, Brian and Friends on PGTV.
5, 4, 3. Hey everybody, welcome back to segment number 4 of Sports Central.
That was fun, and of course, we have to thank the folks at the Ramada Inn Lakeland Hotel and Conference Center for being our sponsor of our 4th segment, and fun always getting to hang out with Charles and Andy and Brad.
He's a big guy,
Bart.
isn't he?
He's a big guy, and
well, we were talking off air that he's making more money now than he ever did as a player.
Yeah, he makes more on TV than he did in the NBA, but he gets just this huge amount of requests for appearances every month, and declines them all, but makes it a point every year to come to Barkley Bean, Bryant and Friends, and that's a great attribute to Charles Barkley for his generosity to our folks out there at the first tee. Thank you, Charles.
Well, one of the things, you know, whether you like him, you don't like him, or whatever, one of the things that's made him so popular has been the fact that he can laugh at himself, you know, and hey, I made a mistake. Okay, next.
Yeah,
you know, and I think people are endeared to him with that. One of the things we do want to talk about, speaking of super stuff, and we've had some super guests today, Sun and Fun. It's coming up April 9th through the 14th, the state's largest convention. Yeah, I said convention because that's what it's classified. 250,000 people coming in, economic impact of a little over $60 million over those days. And Hank, we can't say enough about our very good friend Carol Dover, the president and CEO of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, who came in with the support of Visit Florida, Will Seckham and his crew, as the title sponsor of Sun and Fun this year. And with the problems with the FAA, I mean, what a blessing that was. But talking with Carol last night on our radio show it was really a delight. She said, you guys have one of the best kept secrets. She said, Mark, why don't you you know, you should have told me about this more. You know, oh, we told you about it. But she's just shocked at the size and the impact of this event. So April 9th through the 14th, John Leanhout's doing a great job for Sun and Fun. And Hank, we have some people to thank, but make sure you check it out, everybody.
Yep, and we want to thank the folks at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill, Best Western Plus in Arbondale, Abuelo's, Hyatt Place Lakeland Center, and the Travel Lodge Lakeland North. Thank you all so much for your support.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, our next live show is April 19th, so make sure you check that out. Between now and then, you can check out rears of this show. If you just can't get enough of old Hank and Mark, check out the following dates and times and check your local listings. This is Mark Jackson for Hank Longo and the terrific crew at PGTV. We'll see you again next time.